Welcome to Salton Art Live, where it happens to be a Sunday, and I'm Daniel Foster Smith.
And I'm Tanner G.
Tanner Gilliland. It's good to have you here in Salton Land.
Thank you very much. Fun to be here.
Well, for those of you who've been here before, you know that we get up to some fun shenanigans here at Salton Studios. We are a art collective. Some people live here. Salton Sun and Salton Studios is engaging in all kinds of live art making. Tanner, you've been making some live art of late.
Yeah, we've been doing a stop motion for a music video that I'm putting together. You've been directing that, and our friend Jenica Lake has been assisting with the animation. Of course, Sam Garfield's been an indispensable help here at Salton Studios producing all these shows, so it's been a lot of fun.
We're doing the stop motion animation just right over there. We still have the first scene set up.
Yeah, we'll get it out of here.
We'll get out of the desert soon enough. I mean, it's important that we go through the same journey that the little man goes through.
He's going. You know what he's doing? He needs to get through the desert on a horse with no name. Is what he needs.
Yeah, we've got the horse. It's named, so we need to unname the horse, and then he'll be golden. So we've been cataloging. We've been showing the live streams have sort of been creating a catalog of the art that happens here around Salton Studios, because we have a whole community of artists, painters, filmmakers, musicians who like to come around, and we used to hold a lot of live events here where we would bring people in. We would have galleries, and we had concerts and salons where we had speakers series come in. Now during COVID, during that time, Sam, many of you know, has turned in our erstwhile performance space into a live stream studio where we can have a small group of people come in and put on a live stream. So we've got a few different live streams that have been going out. You've been part of some of those too.
Yeah. Some of them have been the art ones. Other just we've been doing a game show.
Tab
Gab every Sunday morning.
Tab Gab, hosted by our very own producer Sam. Sam, can you throw us a Heidi Ho or a Rudy Tooty salute?
Can I? Hi ho, folks. This is me. My name is Sam. You can't hear me because I don't have a mic, but this is me. We're doing live makeup here also.
Yeah. Yeah, Tanner's been learning some special effects makeup and testing them out.
Hence my head. We don't do a live stream boxing ring here illegally at nighttime.
We definitely don't. But what we are going to do today during our brief live stream broadcast for the next hour or so, we work on a whole bunch of different projects, and one of them that we're collaborating on is something called History in a Minute with the Weber County Heritage Foundation and Merry Thieves, which is our other production company. And we're creating these History in a Minute videos that will tell the different brief histories at different points of interest around Weber County. And we're really proud to be working with the Weber County Heritage Foundation and Katie Nelson of the What's Her Name podcast, which is a great podcast that you should check out. It's about women's history, and it's two sisters, Katie and Olivia, and they tell each other stories about women that most people have never heard of throughout history, and they're
Are
great.
they like Utah-centric, or?
It's not Utah-centric.
Okay.
They were raised in Utah, but they now have lived abroad a lot. Katie teaches teaches history at Weber State, and her and her husband both lead studies abroad, and they love taking people and teaching them. He teaches philosophy, she teaches history, so they have the great team teaching style that I've been privy to just by being friends with them for many years. But so we're launching this collaborative History in a Minute series, and we've engaged you on this front to take up the iPad in the journey to tell histories in a minute. And we've given you the opening frame from one of our histories, which is happening up at the Huntsville Monastery in Huntsville, Utah. And so this frame sort of opens up the minute-long story, and it will be animated here lively. Yeah, it's going to be animated lively. Can you do that for us?
Yes.
Tanner's going to create a work of art, and I'm composing music for these videos in addition to helping film them along with producer Sam. And I'm going to engage in that process live right now as well. And a cool thing that has occurred here at Salton Studios a lot, especially since the arrival of Tanner, is more and more collaborative art making, where we get into this groove of painting and making music at the same time. I've really enjoyed that. So I'm really interested in this challenge today. How do you feel about this?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so fun. It's like the magic of creating amplifies when you're sharing the space and working on multiple things. It's been super fun, and I think it's gonna be super fun doing this.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is kind of break this process into chunks, where Tanner is going to be drawing. I'm going to start my composition process on the ukulele, and we're going to do that for 10 minutes or so, and then we'll see where we've gotten to. If you watched our live streams before, Tanner and Jenica have done stop motion while I was playing music and improvising, so we're going to just engage a little bit of that.
Right on. Let's do it.
All right.
Do we want to talk a little bit about this process and show?
We can.
Or should we just dive in?
Let's dive in a little bit, and then when we get through the first segment, we'll dive into the specific processes.
Okay, because we were talking about doing the clock. Maybe. First thing I'm going to do here is come add some dark lines around this thing. Get it outlined. Do a little bigger here. I'm going to make a clock here in the corner. Procreate on the iPad has this quick shapes function that allows you to make circles like that, which is nice. Oh yeah. I think we'll just have a clock right there. Why not? This is our clock layer. And right now we are at Is that looking right? Is that what we're thinking? And then in 15 minutes, we'll go down to the right?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Okay.
So just leave that up there.
That's like your top layer.
I guess. But I don't know if I like that, like this design for it. I wonder how...
We'll just make it a different layer, and we can always change it up later on, if that's easy to...
Well, like, what kind of clock are you imagining? What if we could do a clock right here? Cut out this person's head and make it a clock.
Go for it.
But I don't know if that'll, like... Will that be obvious enough?
I'm not concerned about how obvious it is. I want it to be subtle.
Okay. Then let's do that. What does a town hall clock look like anyway? That thing's gotta be in a tower. By dragging that corner, just fill the space. So nice. Double click down there for jump to black. Let's do, well, maybe a little lighter color. Actually, maybe we'll do it that way. So, just talking through, if it's of interest to folks, yourself included, of course, I think I'm gonna try doing a black outline around it and filling it in kind of like cartoon animation style, and see how that looks. And if I don't like the black lines around it, at least that'll serve as like a basis for then filling in later color to maybe do like a more of a painting, and it could look cool transitioning through those styles and leading up to the final one. So we'll just find out, because the idea is to have a time lapse, right, of the painting being made or the image being made, the frame.
You want to make sure real quick that or is it always turned on?
I think it's always turned on, but I can double check.
Video.
How much recording? Yeah, you just export. Okay, just had to make sure I was on the right layer. Ah, magic. I'm gonna try a different pen. Studio pen. We're in the studio, might as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, that's a thick. Damn, that really gets. All right, sensitive. That might be out of control. Or.
It's cool how it'll straighten the lines out. I think that'll could give it like. You got a lot of like kind of straight lines stuff out there.
Yeah.
So talk to us.
Christy says hello from Bryce Canyon.
Oh, hello, Christy
What?
from Bryce Canyon, Bryce Canyon, Christy. Now, is that the Christy that we know, the Christy Baltazar of the New Zealand Baltazars? I hope so, because friend of the show.
Big fan of the show.
Mm-hmm. like that. That roof. So I think I found a melody in there that I want to play with. Then I'm going to now switch over to my digital instruments in a moment. Sam, help me remember this melody. Okay?
What do you want me to do?
Oh God, no! Oh God! Don't look, Tanner. Don't look.
Ah! What's up, Gene?
What else you got? Okay, I'll remember that. So, Tanner, as you're going along there, what's standing out to you in the landscape? What are your eyes drawn towards?
Mainly these lines of this, I don't know what that building is, some kind of
The
rounded one that's going back.
So that is just a barn. It's part of the industrial parts of the site. But all of that site, when the video's done, you'll learn in the history, and it'll take less than a minute for you to learn this because it's just history in a minute. But you'll learn that those are leftover Quonset huts from World War II. And the monastery was built out of these Quonset huts. Constructed. A lot of the property has those rounded roofs, and there's a lot more you can learn about it when our video comes out.
When it comes out.
When's
the expected release date?
We're working on a series of history videos with the Weber County Heritage Foundation. We're going to have a total of, I think, 16 stories about Weber County, all over Weber County. And this is going to be one of the first ones. And we're going to be going all the way up to a blacksmith shop in Eden, Utah. One of the oldest saloons in the West in Huntsville, Utah.
That's cool.
One of the oldest log cabins in northern Utah. The site of the Morrisite War, which was like a cult that was started in the 1860s.
You know how it be.
Yeah, you know how cults be. So I'm going to switch over to my computer, and we'll continue this composition process as we go.
Cool. Sounds groovy.
So the first thing I'm going to do is start a new track in Logic Pro, and I got to save the last track, which was what were you drawing before? You were drawing me. Tanner drawing me. So that's the name of that song from before that I was starting.
It was called Tanner Drawing Me.
Tanner Drawing Me. But now I'll start a new one that's called Broken Roof. Ooh, got some wind. Here down in South Salt Lake, Salton Studios.
I don't know about these glasses.
Sanitized?
Are my hands sanitized? That's a great question. Oh, that one's yours. This one's mine. Because we sanitize our hands separately. Here with, can we go to camera? Straight to camera A. Camera 1. Camera. Ooh, that's a hard sell. Mystic Mountain Distillery, sponsor of the Salton Studios live streams, bringing you 80% alcohol by volume. Kills germs. Hey, Salton, Mystic Mountain Distillery, where the mystics are mountains, the mountains are mystics, and it will kill germs on your hands.
Ba-da-da. You know what? Sometimes you just gotta redo a person's whole face.
Sometimes you just gotta redo a whole person's whole face. Or face hole.
And that's okay.
Let's go back to this. No, not yet. This is the composition process live. It's gonna have all kinds of hiccups. It's fun. Du, 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 du. Hey. Du, 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 du. We're losing some pow pow. Are we losing? Do we lose broadcast when that happens?
No.
That's
everything's
nice.
On battery backup.
Nice. Even the internet.
But if it goes down for like a long time, yeah, the internet's on battery backup.
That's nice. We got internet on battery backup. Let's start with a little. Let's try with a little bass note on that. Bum. Next time we'll get Sam with a microphone beatboxing. All right.
Okay. I didn't. Just trying to add in some noises. Alright.
There's my first phrase. Just the little bass notes. We'll just kind of do that to keep me rooted. I don't like hearing that click track for too long. Kind of grates. We'll have to give it a little quantization here and let's maybe give it a little arpeggiation here. Oh, that's not nobody likes that. It's a little too hyper. Let's try going to at half that speed, 156. Let's try going to like 75. Now let's try adding in a little drummer track. I don't know about that. I don't know about it. Maybe I just need to give him a different drum set. No? There we go. Finding that jam, that strawberry jam, that peach jam, that jam session. You got a favorite kind of jam there, Tanner? You a jam man?
I occasionally jam.
What kind of jam you like?
Some huckleberry jam.
A real huckleberry jam.
Yeah, on top of a nice biscuit.
Did
you know, like the ones at Ruth's?
You know where they made huckleberry jam and like strawberry jam and probably plum jam and like peach jam and all kinds of jams that were the jam?
Where?
At the Huntsville Monastery.
What?
Yeah, they had fruit trees, they had bees, they baked bread, they grew wheat. They were a Trappist monastery that grew and made bread and jam.
What does Trappist mean?
Trappist monks lived by a old set of rules that meant that they ate meals at specific times of the day, got up early to chant. They took vows of silence and were hardly spoke unless necessary.
Is it a branch of Catholicism?
It is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's a type of monastery that's been around since the Middle Ages.
Gotcha.
They make great beer, except this place didn't make beer. They made jam.
Dope.
Nope. Guess we're actually in D. No.
Damn, that string sounds so much better than GarageBand.
It's a sample
Okay,
rather
gotcha.
than, yeah, I almost try never to mess around with like the digital strings. There's not very many good ones out there. I'll do it with like the bass. It's not ideal, but you know, for the process of composing something fast,
Sure.
well, there's something. That's some music that's being composed live before you, much like this art is being composed live before you here on Salton Art Live. Tanner, what's been standing out to you in this process?
Well, really, I'm just experimenting. I feel like it's I could be commenting a little bit more, keeping people updated with what I'm doing.
Well,
But,
you live and learn.
Yeah, we're just playing with different ways of animating it. So like we had talked about the first way, just giving it a nice outline filling with block colors, and then after that, seeing how it looks like that, and then moving on. I think it'll be cool to try to just fill in like a oil painting kind of feel to it.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's cool. There's a lot of lines that are intersecting at her. There's like up in the right, you have these kind of diagonal ones moving in, and you have the clouds moving that way. Then you have the horizon lines, that sharper line from the barn thing. So it's just a nice shot. It's fun to...
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see what you keep doing with it. And I like this jam that I just came up with. I don't think it's necessarily the one for this video, but that's okay. It's just about the that live collaborative process. Do you hear anything? You picture anything? Taste any jams in that jam?
Oh, I'm just enjoying. I'm straight vibing, man.
Straight vibing. All right. Well, let's hear from the tippy top. Not super in love with the drums there. I might want to mess around with some other drum pieces. I love using Maurice on Logic Pro. He's one of the pre-programmed in drummer styles that you can mess around with and have them play all different kinds of drum sets. Pretty sweet. GarageBand has that feature as well, just not as many drummers. And it's really fun. You can go in and customize and say, well, play this drum set, and then be playing the toms and the shakers and snares and bass drum. So let's see if we can squeak out a little more refinement from this track. Well, that's Broken Roof, which is a brand new composition that I've been compositioning before
Before your very eyes.
before your
Very ears.
very face. While Tan Man has been compositioning in the iPad Pro using Procreate, which is a fantastic tool, and he's been creating multiple layers on top of this picture, which is the opening frame of a 1 minute video that Salton the many of us here at Salton Studios are working with Merry Thieves, our production company, and Weber County Heritage Foundation, which is a fantastic organization in Weber County, as you might have guessed from the name. It's built right in Weber County Heritage Foundation. They're dedicated to keeping the history of Weber County alive. And the young woman pictured in this picture is none other than Dr. Katie Nelson, instructor at Weber State University and one of the best history teachers you'll ever meet. And I've had the pleasure of knowing her since junior high. We grew up together, we've been friends, and I've had the chance to travel with her and her husband to around Europe, visiting them when they studied there. We traveled around Turkey. They lead studies abroad there around the history of Western thought. He teaches philosophy, she teaches history. They're just great folks. And now we're collaborating on this series, Histories in a Minute, with bringing the stories of Weber County to life in under a minute. And speaking of under a minute, it might be time to change that clock face, if you know what I mean. You ready to zoom in there and give us a little, can you give us a little, wow, Tanner, that
Sort of penile in it.
you know, sometimes it can't be helped, but it's time to advance the clock.
Be.
Now we're almost out of time for our broadcast. I think we're going to do another little round as Tanner continues to animate and update the clock. Set the atomic clock to 0, the doomsday clock.
The doomsday clock.
Okay, Sam, any comments from our thread there that we should be made aware of? Great. Solid. Well, let's see if I can't refine this track one more little time. Keep kind of tweaking it a little bit. Let's see what tweaks out.
Like that? Is that what we're...
Exactly. Still don't love this drum set. Less. Like that. Well, that was my brand new spanking track, Broken Roof, that started on a ukulele with this little jam earlier. And it morphed into this little gem, Broken Roof. Speaking of broken roofs, that drawing of that roof there, it's coming right along there. I'm liking the green grass, real nice. What if we were to view back the stop motion now as we kind of round out our live stream?
So, will this be played in reverse? Will it go? Because it's.
It could go in reverse to reveal the frame, or it could go.
I think it will go forward. It'll go forward from nothing, and we'll remove the layer with the picture until we bring in the video.
But if it's going to be a time lapse, it's going to be on here. You'll see it.
Isn't it a separate layer?
It is. Can you remove the layer during export?
We could just delete the layer once you're done drawing it, and then export that.
I don't know if it'll work.
We'll figure it out.
We'll
figure it out.
Okay.
But let's try to wrap out the live stream today. Let's view the time lapse of what you've got so far.
All right. Let's do it.
Okay. You throw that up there full screen, Sam.
Whoop. What's your play? So yeah, she'll like be there. But we could have it where it starts out as the painting and then comes into her. There it is, folks.
What if you turn down the opacity for the next? Are you doing more?
Yeah, turn the opacity down on the
On her layer.
on her layer all the way.
How do you?
Little N.
Oh. Oh.
Cool. Well, that and more. We're gonna.
Opacity sliders up at the top of that list. The other ones are blending modes.
This is fun. We're learning all about this. But that brings us to the end of our live stream today. I've been Daniel, and
I've been Tanner once or twice.
yeah, you know, the occasion strikes me, strikes your fancy. And this has been Salton Art Live. It's an experimental, collaborative, co-creational, experimental, incidental broadcast.
Transcontinental.
Electrocutionally diverse, but with the power going in and out there. Good thing Sam has producer Sam over on the producer side, been producing this shit. I just cursed, you know. What are you gonna do?
What can you do?
Yes.
I look like a sailor, you curse.
Oh, that's our man Sam.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Sam, on the boards, and we'll see you guys on the flip side.
Thank you, Sam.
A little more of this to come.